Before there were cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar.
All right. I mean, damn, my Buddha can't see my Buddha. Peace to the family. We got Rod in the back. I'm giving him one more minute to get himself together. Pardon the lateness, family. Thanks for being patient. We got it. Today's one of them shows, family. We got it's a big show. It's a big show. We got a lot going. I don't like the Buddha here. I don't like the Buddha here. Give me a second. I gotta move. Okay, there we go. And then I gotta move this. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right. Yeah, we got a real big show. Just said move closer to the mic. What's going on with y'all? All right, let's get this thing started. I think my brother Rod Hayes is ready in the back. And we got 1,000 people in here already. Oh, y'all was really waiting. Okay. Yeah, let's get this thing started, family. Let's bring in my brother Rod Hayes. Hey, Rod Hayes, brother, what's going on?
Rich. Peace. Y'all gotta forgive me. I look a hot mess. I was out there in the yard trying to get my chores done before it was too late. I ran over the time limit.
It's all good. We know how things be. Wow. What some times what a time to be alive, as they say, Rod.
Man,
what a time to be alive.
Brother Rich is going down.
Yes, super down. I'm super excited about the talk tonight because I haven't had you on the show in a little while. So I'm very interested in seeing what you got to say about what's transpiring. Let me start out. Since today's July 1st, I want to just show the family. And as I show this, let's do a heat check. Everybody, I got a global community in the chat right now. Tell me what was the temperature like where you was at today, family? Give me a heat check. Everybody in the chat as we get this thing started with Rod Hayes. Give me a heat check. Tell me where you from. I know Europe is on the news a lot today. So tell me what's going on, where you from, and give me a heat check. This is July 1st. This is the Schumann resonance, right, Rod?
Yes, that's the Schumann.
Okay, so what's going on July 1st? What's going on in this picture right here, Rod?
In this picture, we looking at the frequency that the Earth is emitting.
Uh-huh.
All that green you see, that's love energy. Right? And then you see splashes of red and blue in there. But the green overtake and some gold, which is Oshun's color, the gold. Then you got the red for the red house, blue for the blue house. But the main thing is all this love energy coming in. We experiencing it as heat index. But even if, like, for instance, in some places, it might say it's 100 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Schumann resonance doing what it's doing, we're going to experience 100 degrees different than we ever experienced it in the last 2,600 years.
Wow. Wow.
right? So we got a lot of galactic stuff or stellar star related stuff going on. Then we have Earth related stuff. Now remember, 7-1 is the inverse of 17, which is the QAnons, which
Uh-huh.
is a military intelligence network.
Uh-huh.
That's significant leading up to this 4th of July on the 250-year celebration. Now, remember, the contract was up in 1976, but nobody knew what to do to close the contract. So they
Right.
just been cruising along as if nobody wasn't going to never look at them temperatures, man, all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Degrees, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, 97 degrees. But the Schumann resonance is going to add 93 in Grand Rapids, 88 in Fairburn, Georgia. So while we looking at this is normal for this time of year to be hot, but the level of heat got a different type of intensity to
Mm.
it. The people that's nodding, falling asleep, go out in the sun for an hour, got to come in and sleep for 4 hours. They getting upgrades.
Mm.
You can't assimilate the upgrade while you're awake.
Mm.
For a reference to what I'm talking about, it's the same as growing muscle. Study bodybuilding. Every bodybuilder know you need
Right.
three things. You need weight resistance to grow muscle, you need nutrition to grow muscle, and you need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sleep. So some bodybuilders, they'll sleep 8 hours at night, 4 hours in the afternoon, and then they might take another hour nap late in the evening before bedtime before they eat their last meal. Because they need the sleep for the muscles to regenerate. Your body only repaired during the stasis, right? So that's why they feeling all of this drowsiness. A lot of them is they getting them the ones getting the most upgrades now. They getting caught up to where some of us that did our cleanses, we did our heavy metal detox, our parasitic cleanses, and all that stuff. We already did all that, so we ahead of everybody else. But there's a lot of people that's just getting on the journey. They going to be sleeping like a mug because they have to assimilate the upgrades. The upgrades is coming in based on what the Schumann resonance is responding to the solar flare. Remember we had the Maherta Rich?
Yep. I was on mute. Yep. I remember. Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's when the Earth was in a direct alignment to get messages from the galactic center, what we call prime creator or prime source data.
Mm-hmm.
So once the information got here, the Earth and the Sun been talking, and I've been telling people pay attention to the Schumann, pay attention to the solar flare
Mm-hmm.
because they communicating with each other, right? And what I showed you earlier, we had 9 M-class solar flares today. That's not normal. That's not normal. You normally get 1 or 2 at a time, but we had 9 of them today. That's all data. That's all the energy coming from the sun to the earth is reading what the earth is saying, the earth reading what the sun is saying, and then they about to kick in all of the upgrades. When the upgrades come in, a lot of people not gonna make it. Look here.
You said you're not gonna make it because of the upgrades.
They not gonna make it. I
Why?
just posted. I posted today. If you on the funeral home, get yourself ready because business is about to pick up.
Why would upgrades knock so many people out or turn
They
a lot of
didn't.
people's?
They didn't do their work. Most of it because they didn't do their work. More than any other reason, no matter what kind of scientific explanation you give, the number one reason is they stuck in low vibrational energy. They only vibrating from their lower 4 chakras, 3 chakras, I should say. They only vibrating from their lower 3 chakras, and none of their upper chakras has gotten any work. They heart dirty, stop them at the 4th. They chakra, they throat chakra, they won't speak their truth because they scared of what other people gonna say. So they attack the people that do, right? They third eye closed because they can't see the stuff that I'm showing you now. Look at these M classes. Look at the time. 627, 643, 735, 817, 1008, 1145, 1215, 103, 136. Okay, now all of those different M class flares, M1.2, M1.0, M1.6, M2.6, all the way down, right? Now, that's the median. We still got a major X flare coming. That ain't got here yet. This is the preliminary. All this is the earth, the sun is feeding the earth the energy based on what the Maherta aligned told it to fix whatever earth sent back to the sun by Schumann resonance. The women's mitochondria is directly plugged into the physical earth, right? I got a post on that. I send it to you later if you want it. But the women, this is why in the 5% nation they call them the earths.
Indeed.
Right? They are literally, not figuratively, because sometimes we be talking and we be talking in like metaphors. They literally, mitochondria is literally in the soil. The earth got mitochondria, and the women is the only ones that can pass it, and they can control it when they reach the divine feminine. When they control it, they are what we call love goddesses. And then the divine masculine, normally, even if he don't know her and she vibrate that frequency, can't nobody do nothing to her with him around. He automatically go into defense mode for her. You know how now you see everybody be filming the bullshit going down? Instead of doing something to stop it, that's not going to be the same when the women upgrade, the men upgrade too. If the women just upgrade first. When the men upgrade, we not going to be like we been.
Right.
We're going to be more protective of the divine feminine, and we're going to be more belligerent to low vibrational males masquerading as men. We're not going to have a tolerance for them to the same degree. We don't want to be around them. We ain't going to want to talk to them. It's just nature, being nature. It's what they call it in Christian lore. It's called separating the wheat from the chaff. Right? In the law of the jungle, is separating the strong from the weak. Right? So we looking at it, but we don't know what it means. The average Joe don't know what that stuff means. So the earth Schumann resonance going off and we getting M flares at the same time. What that mean? Average person is not gonna have a freaking clue. So you gotta have people like Mr. BBB on YouTube who steady explaining what the Schumann resonance is, what the solar flare is, what they doing. Then you got people like this lady M Spiracy. She be going over it. Christina, I think her name is like Bruno or something, but she be going over the Schumann resonance solar flare. The late Dolores Cannon used to warn about the incoming shift in the energy.
Yeah.
And that when the sun turn up, some of us gonna get turned the F off. Right? Now, if you standing next to somebody and they start talking about, oh, my head, oh, they finna get turned off right now. They in the process because they not assimilating the new earth frequency. And one of the biggest telltale signs is a massive screaming headache. They gonna tell you they hear sirens. You're not gonna hear them if you upgrade it. The sirens is only letting them know that they didn't do the work that they came here to do, so they can't stay here for the new earth.
Right.
And it's going to sound off in their head so that they can alert the ones around them that this is taking place. Some of them going to be smashing their head wide open, running in a brick wall.
Damn. Shit, right? Damn.
From the sheer volume of noise and the pain going on in their head, they're going to try to bust their own head open. That's what's going to happen. Because they won't be able to assimilate the new frequency. They're not living in the love energy. They're not embracing the frequency that the love energy is bringing in. Anybody that don't, that's why all them baby rapers about to be gone.
Woo.
They gonna
Man.
get turned off. Out the gate, they getting turned off. That's why Trump posted yesterday that we ended human trafficking. He ain't in nothing. Mother Nature ending that shit.
Oh man.
Mother Nature, all they did is rounded up the dirty players so that they could show us who they was.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual ending of it, it's gonna come in on a frequency. The great egregore, the universal mind. It's gonna spank some boo-boos.
Mm. So Rob, since you started out like that with the heat wave, how much does everything you just said have to do with them shutting down CERN? Because a lot of people like they're shutting down CERN. They talking about they're not going to turn it back on in 2030. So what's that connected with, bro? The CERN thing.
CERN was supposed to have been cut off in 2012 after the discovery of the Higgs boson.
Mm-hmm.
They had to discover the God particle first.
Okay.
Because that was the signal for the new age, the God particle.
Right.
And remember, it's as above, so below. They says going at the microscopic level. So on the human level, that means that somebody is walking around carrying the God frequency on the earth. And when you're carrying the God frequency, they're going to be able to reach people just by telling the truth and the truth alone.
Mm.
Everybody not going to agree because we ain't all supposed to see the truth the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the reason why they was never supposed to reactivate one of those colliders, they had one long time ago during one of the Anunnaki wars, where they collapsed the fourth dimension into the third dimension. And that's why we can't upgrade while we awake. We have to go to sleep because the fourth dimension is trapped in the third dimension. Like if you pinch a slinky and you open it up where you pinch it, that's going to make a number 8. That's the infinity loop we need, right? And when we in the upside down, we in the top of the loop. But when we right side up, we in the bottom of the loop. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we were stuck. We was going through the figure 8 in the infinity loop. What ended up happening with the Maherta was that somebody was practicing what we call God knowledge, right? And when the universe aligned and we missed the Maherta like 4 or 5 times.
Right. Tell the people, I'm sorry, what is the Maherta? Because they might have missed that show we did 2 years ago. What's the Maherta that you keep referring to?
The Maherta was when it's a space and time where there's a direct opening between all of the galaxies to the center, or all of the systems between Earth and the center of the galaxy. And during the Maherta, or during this opening, it's a direct line of communication from the center of the universe, which is Prime Creator, to the Earth. So that's called the Maherta. It only happened every now and then. But they normally kill the chosen one right before the Maherta comes. So there's nobody here to tell us, hey, the Maherta coming and this is what it means. This is what's going to happen. So it crept up on us. And then, boom, everybody seen it and was like, holy crap. Okay, now once it activates, it's sending information to the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth then at the core is the Earth brain. It's a metal brain. It's an iron brain. That means it's only processing information.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they tell you it's a molten iron core,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That iron core is the Earth brain, but the Earth don't speak English. The Earth don't speak French. The
Mm.
Earth don't speak Japanese, Chinese, or Korean. The
Mm-hmm.
Earth don't speak Zulu. It don't speak Swahili. It don't speak none. It speaks frequency.
Talk to him, Rob.
The sun speak frequency. The Earth speak frequency. The universe speak frequency. They do everything on frequency. We get to see the result of the frequency most of the time after the fact, because the frequency is going to cause a physiological reaction, or a reaction in the physical world that's going to be able to show you something, right? Now, we getting all this heat right after a strawberry full moon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the strawberry full moon got its own significance
Oh, what's
by
that?
itself. Well, we ain't gonna get into that right now because I don't want to pull that up because it's gonna take me off track. Okay, now when the Maherta opening, it's like if you go to a concert and the people be all over the place, and then when the artists come, they all spread out for the artists to walk down the room or the opening.
Right.
That's what the Maherta is doing, but it's the stars and the planets that's separating for a
Oh,
direct line of sight and communication from the center of the universe to the planet Earth.
wow.
And then the Earth and the Sun, Mother Earth, Father Sun. The enforcer is the Sun. The Father that enforces the will of the Mother. The Father God that enforces the will of the Mother God. When she say, I need a frequency that's going to turn these parasites off, the Earth going to send her back a response. And she going to say, that's only going to get 30% of them. We need to get at least 99% of them. She's going to
Mm.
send a Schumann resonant frequency. It wasn't called that in Kemet. It was called a Shu Tefnut frequency. The reason it's called the Shu Min frequency is named after somebody, but they did it as a cover because Shu and Min is a double masculine polarity in order for the patriarchy to rule.
Mm.
So it was all deception to begin with, but they called it the Schumann resonance. They named it after a guy whose last name just so happened to be Schumann. Make that make sense. But if you look in Kemet, you will find a guy named Shu and you will find a guy named Min. And those two together are two males. This is why when they opened that to collapse the fourth dimension into the third dimension, Vatica came through the mirror gate. The mirror universe is everything in this one exactly the opposite. In their universe, the males got two X's and the females got an X and a Y. In our universe, the females got two X's and the males got an X and a Y. So you have all these people talking about Hollywood full of inverts. They don't know how accurate and inaccurate at the same time they in. All of them not cross dressers. Some of them are just genetically inside out. They DNA. They look like a chick, but they got an XY chromosome. They look like a dude, but they got a 2X chromosome.
Like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian. They not what they appear to be. Kim Kardashian, the queen of the damn. That's why they had to get rid of Leah for blowing her ass out the water, because then she had to expose herself. She had to dress like the queen of the damn in the public domain and walk down the runway for everybody to see that Aaliyah was playing her. If you think I'm playing, go back and look up, I think it was at an Oscars show. Kim Kardashian dressed as queen of the damn. You see her.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, Rod, well, let me ask you this. I heard, I don't know how true it is. And first of all, all right, let me, so much to talk about. Who is Vatica? You say you talked about Vatica up here. Who's Vatica that you're referring to? Because we know about the Vatican, but who's Vatica?
Vatica is who the Vatican named after. She's known as the god of the underworld, but it's a female. On Earth, we call guys, female guys, goddesses, right?
Right.
And she's referred to as the god of the underworld because she came from another world. She's not really from the underworld. They call her that because she lived under the Vatican. Because that was her dwelling place.
Right.
And the Pope was her spokesperson. They took that concept from Kemet. Set is the throne. And Mary is her name. Right? And Isis is her title in Kemet. It's different in a different place. Like in ancient Persia, she was known as Inanna. In ancient India, she was called Kalima, the keeper of time. That's because the sacerdotal seat moved to different parts of the earth based on what we call the 12 daughters of Isis. The 13th seat is always reserved for the Great Mother. Right? That's why the number 13 is the supreme number of the divine feminine. It's the number of the seat of the Great Mother of the earth. It's like Earth's landlord is her. If you say somebody owned the earth, it would be the one who sits on the sacerdotal seat of the earth. as the matriarch, that's the center point of a collection of matriarchs. She becomes the landlord. The earth belonged to the women first, and the men enforced that. That's why we here.
Okay, so with the CERN, we just talked about CERN. With the whole CERN thing, I seen a article or video. It might have been CNN or something where they said that they do a dancing ritual before they turn the machine on.
Hmm.
So what would be the purpose? Me and you talked about the crip walking and dancing being a technology. What would be the purpose of them dancing before turning on this machine that is probably one of the most advanced machines they have on Earth?
2 words: ritualistic activation.
Mm-hmm.
On Earth, okay, when the women get fed up and they need an earthquake somewhere, they go to a party and they have a rump shaking contest,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's called the sway of the matriarch,
Mm-hmm.
bumping the bum bum. And somewhere that they've set their mind to going to experience an earthquake. It's not a possibility. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to happen before you know it. It'll creep up on you all at once. Did you know that the ritual's done? Then you know that something's going to follow the ritual,
Right, right, right.
right? So the dancing before, depending on what dance they doing, it tell you the energy that they drawing in on the ritual. If you can see they dance,
Mm-hmm.
right? They got a Hindu god out front of it. I forgot which one it was.
Who's the Hindu god, y'all? They know. Bobby used to talk about it way back in the day. Who's the god in front of CERN, y'all? I think he got like 8 arms or something like that, right? Shiva? Is it Shiva? Is it Shiva, Rod?
I think so. Shiva is the destroyer god. In India, you got three major gods in they trinity. You
Mm-hmm.
got Brahm or Tar Brahm, or Brahman is the creator god.
Mm-hmm.
Vishnu is the sustainer god that holds everything in place until the arrival of Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer god.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't mean create, sustain, and destroy in a common colloquial terminology, right? It's talking about metaphysical transition. In the Native American culture, those are called the three sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And they was represented by the Orion belt as the three jewels of the great hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Then the three sisters went to the Middle East and became the three wise men.
Mm.
So we had to reverse the conjure. We the first ones in this hemisphere to successfully do it was the Haitians with Duddy Bookman, um, John Dessalines, and Toussaint L'Ouverture. That was the Three Kings March trying to reverse the conjure, right?
Mm.
So then you have the the three wise men, which is actually the three magi from India that came to Persia following the North Star, which doesn't make sense because Persia is west of India. Why is they following the North Star? Or was it really the North Star they was following? Is the $1 million question. Because if they came from India to Persia, they would have been going from east to west according to the modern positioning of the map. They wouldn't have been going south to north. They'd have been going from east to west, from India to Persia, from India to Iran. Where Iran is at now is ancient Persia. That's why they keep blowing it up over there. And the Iranians don't want to stop the war because they know if they stop the war, all of that Islamic patriarchal femicide is going to have to stop. And they don't want to give up their control over the feminine and allow them um, to be in charge because all of the dirt that they did over the last 1,400 years, they believe that the women is like men and just going to take revenge when that's not what's on their agenda.
Wow. Yeah. No. No. Indeed. Indeed. So Rod, let's get back to this sun thing and what a lot of people feel as though the earth is cleansing itself and getting rid of the parasites. Is this because you talked about people who got to do the work. A lot of people feel as though if they're black, they are protected with what's
They're
going
gonna
on.
be the first niggas to die.
So you saying black
They
people?
ain't Yeah, they entitled. They feel entitled to the new earth because of their skin color. That's the same as the pale face feeling entitled to the old earth because of their skin color. It ain't no difference. It's just a different monkey wearing a suit. It's still a monkey suit. Just because you bleach it, it's still a monkey suit.
You
Or
said it.
just because you dye it black, it's still a monkey suit. It's
Yeah.
the entitlement and the privilege that come along with the ideology that's the problem.
Mm,
Because it makes people mistreat other people.
mm, mm,
And when you mistreat other people, when you become prideful in mistreating other people, it puts something in your heart that you can't
mm.
erase.
Damn,
And
Ron.
you can't
Oh,
hide that from the source.
can't. No, no,
You
no.
can't hide that from the creator. The creator is what's animating you.
Right.
So you walking around with this obstruction in your heart
Uh-huh.
because you're judging people off superficial means.
Mm,
When the sun get done, you're gonna see everybody that's pale face not gonna be gone, and everybody that's chocolate not staying here.
mm,
It's frequency. It don't have nothing to do. It's just that some people that did the self work that got the skin tone is gonna have a higher ability on the other side of it. But it's not gonna change nothing. It's your frequency, what you vibrate at. And if you vibrate at the right frequency, the earth don't care and the sun don't care. They'll fix you to make you be able to stay.
mm,
Whatever the defect is, it's got to get fixed.
mm. You said whatever the defect is, it got to get fixed if your frequency is right.
Yeah, that means you've been doing the right thing. You've been treating people right. You didn't walk around holding grudges and feeling entitled because of how you look, or you taller than somebody, or they shorter than somebody. You didn't have none of those. They was giving us those doses of social perception as a drug
Right.
to keep. Long as we weren't at the bottom, at the top, they sit back with their feet up. Right now, they white knuckling the steering wheel. They ain't even in the room no more. They trying to go somewhere, but they don't even know where to go
Mm,
because the tunnels was not going to do them no good. The final burst of energy that's going to shut everybody off is coming from the core of the earth. Where you going to hide?
right. 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 Right.
Dig your ass down there if you want to. Where you going to hide? The
Right.
frequency not going to miss anybody that got DNA. It might be a couple androids walking around, but hell, we just turn them off with
Yeah.
that switch in their back. But
Yeah.
the ones that's DNA Earth rovers that don't match the new Earth frequency, they getting turned off. It ain't no, it's not. They might get turned off or none of that. They getting turned off. It's guaranteed they getting turned off. You gonna see it. The death toll just gonna start climbing. They're gonna be like, damn, it's like people dropping like flies. They gonna be dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rob, we hear so much now with the whole disclosure thing, whether it's the news or whether it's in social media about these different alien races. Like we may hear about the Palladians, we may hear about the Greys, we may hear about the Nordics, we may the Syrians, whatever. On Earth, when we refer to the quote unquote black people on Earth, we're called the children of the sun. What are these other alien races' relationship to the sun? Like the way we soak up the sun, we enjoy the sun. Our melanin is a transducer, which takes the energy and turns it into something else. What are their relationship with the sun?
It depends on which star system they come from. Some of them won't be able to stay because our sun is belligerent to them. Right?
Mm,
Like people that walk out in the sun and just break out and don't have to be hot out. They can't stay in direct sunlight. They are extraterrestrials from a deep space source. So
not
so our sun is attacking them.
wow.
Everybody thinking it's because they don't got melanin, but it's even people with melanin that the sun attack like that. Like they can't go out in the sun. Right? They call them children of the night for a reason.
Yeah.
But it's because they come from a star system that's not compatible with our sun. Then you have the ones like Kal-El. You know what that is, don't you?
Who's that? Kal-El.
That's
Superman.
Superman.
Superman. Yeah. Superman.
Why you gotta be an L though?
Yeah.
Why you gotta be an L? Because you're more.
Right.
Right. So when they telling you he came here and our son did something to him that made him different from all the rest of us under our sun. That means that our son was more compatible to his genome. That means that wherever he comes from Krypton, wherever Krypton at, has a sun just like ours, but it might be smaller. So now when he get here, ours is so much bigger. And then they said he came from a place with a red sun, and then the yellow sun that we have is what give him his power. It might be backwards, but whatever the case may be, our sun powers him. Now notice what is his weakness?
Kryptonite.
What color is kryptonite?
Shit, it's blue, right? What color is kryptonite, y'all? I don't.
Let the people in the audience tell you. I like a little interactive.
Yeah. Green. Oh, yeah. Green. Oh, okay.
What green is the color of what?
Oh, love. Yeah, the heart chakra.
That's the heart chakra.
Yeah, the heart chakra. Yeah.
He's allergic to love. That's why he's always trying to get. He always try to rescue Lois Lane, but he always running from her.
Oh shit!
In his true form, his Superman form, he's allergic to love. The kryptonite is the love. He's allergic to the love.
That sounds like somebody in this room. That sounds like a group of people in this room, right?
Okay, now watch this. Remember the movie Hancock?
With Will Smith?
Yeah.
He was like a crazy superhero or something, right? Like a drunk or something?
Yeah, but look, he didn't have a weakness until he encountered his divine feminine counterpart.
Yeah.
He got hit with that part. He got hit with kryptonite. The blonde haired chick played her.
Right.
She was a normal, regular mother. And then when he come around, they both started getting weak because they started becoming normalized as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of the story is there. It's the holy drama, all just re-scripted in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back to Egypt for a minute. Who's known as the Green Man in Kemet?
Osiris.
What is he the god of?
The dead, right?
He's the god of the underworld and the god of resurrection.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now, in the comics, his character is called the Hawk.
That's Osiris in the comics?
Yeah.
I thought Green Lantern was Osiris in the.
No. It's the Hawk.
It's the Hawk. Okay.
See, Green Lantern need the ring. Green Lantern is Solomon. Who
would he be in ancient Kemet? Green Lantern. Who would Green Lantern be in ancient Kemet? Because I resonate with Green Lantern.
Yeah, so the closest thing in Kemet would be the prince, Heru, the son.
Okay.
Right? That's the closest thing to him, but there's really no counterpart to him in Kemet like a lot of the other superheroes. Mm-hmm. But now look, go back to Bruce Banner turning into the Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What makes him turn into the Hawk?
He gets angry.
Not just anger, his emotion.
Okay.
When his emotions is unruly, he becomes the Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you ain't never seen him in love. Because he'd stay the Hawk. He'd always be green.
What if he fell in love, you saying?
Yeah. He would stay in his Hawk form. Now, if you come to the new movies, in the new series, he stays green for some reason. He hardly ever turned back into David Banner. They not telling you somewhere along the line the Hawk fell in love with somebody.
Damn.
He can't turn back into a normal man no more. Because he's filled with the green energy. Okay, now, what energy made him turn from a man to the Hawk? What kind of energy was it? Remember? Let the people tell you. They know this stuff already.
The no, the I know what you're talking about. The shit. The gamma? What? The gamma, yeah, the gamma radiation,
Gamma
right?
radiation,
Gamma
right?
radiation. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now, where do the gamma radiation come from when you on Earth?
Where?
The sun.
The sun. Damn. You connected some dots, right? Damn. Shit.
Hey, Rich, I just be talking like it is, man. Some people be thinking I'm crazy.
You connected some dots. You gonna have me watch some of the I haven't seen you brought up Hancock. I haven't heard that name in so long. Wow, you went from Hancock to Hulk, Osiris. Like, wow, you connected some dots.
Why did they name the Will Smith character Hancock?
I heard that what that so Moors used to talk about that. That was some Moorish law, right? That was
When they ask you for your signature, what do they ask you for?
Hancock. Yeah, Hancock. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. The,
Because without your signature, they have no contract.
right. The Moors used to talk about that way back then. You like jogging my memory. Like I remember the Asir used to talk about that with the movie Hank. Shout out Asir. Yeah. Damn.
Okay, now your Hancock is your signature. Now remember, where did they put Will Smith when he was a superhero going crazy? They made him volunteer to go where?
I don't remember.
Prison.
What movie is it? This is
Hancock. Hancock went to prison. Will Smith played Hancock. He went freely. He didn't have to go because
right,
they
right,
couldn't keep him there.
right.
Okay, now when you go back to the movie, why is he letting them keep him in prison?
Why?
Because he's showing them that without him, they not equipped to fight what's to come.
Mm.
So how did he get out of prison?
Oh.
It was some shit going down, and they couldn't stop it. And they said, "We need Hancock."
Oh man, you gonna have me watch that tonight again, man. Oh man, you gonna have me watch Y'all remember Hancock? Y'all remember Hancock? Oh man, a lot of people slept on that movie.
Okay, now
Yeah.
now the connection is the signature.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't sign any paperwork, he doesn't have an agreement, a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they keep giving us all these adhesion contracts because they got our signature on the contract.
Mm. Mm.
As long as they got our signature on the contract, we obligated to abide by the contract,
Mm-hmm.
right? So before it was ever a comic called Hancock, when they slide you that paper and say sign this, they don't say sign this. They say let me get your Hancock,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a euphemism for a pornographic event.
What you mean?
Hancock mean holding your dick.
Okay.
It's pornographic,
Right.
right? That's a slang term from the hood, from you standing around doing nothing. You standing around doing nothing but HMD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing. That's what you're doing. Got your hand on your cock,
Right.
right? Remember they used to make fun of us. They brothers always walking around grabbing. Even Eddie Murphy got a joke about it,
Yeah.
right? That's a Hancock. It's another terminology for it too. The other terminology is a 6-shooter. Because the old 6-shooters, you had to cock them first before you shoot them.
Mm.
So all of these is like, all of these are slang terms. It's tied back to the contract.
Mm-hmm.
They use the gun to enforce the contract, a Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
And when they enforcing the contract, if you signed up to them, you standing around holding your Johnson
Mm-hmm.
with your hand on. You got your hand on your cock. You ain't doing that
Right.
because you under the contract. You trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's varying different layers of euphemisms tied to the comic strips and to the metaphysical realm. They use the comics to tell us metaphysical information that we will never take serious. Even the word Sirius comes from the star Sirius. By changing the spelling of the word slightly, it alters your perception of the difference in the two. It's called the mirror effect. When you see these people from Sirius, you're gonna be like, damn, they look serious.
Oh yeah. Wow.
You done been you in New York, so you know what I'm talking about. You done been on the subway and you look at a dude and be like, man, dude look intensely serious. He look intense.
Yeah.
That's them.
That's serious.
That's how that's the only way you can recognize them from everybody else is they don't have nothing. They ain't no hee hee ha ha. Ain't no have none of that. They sense of humor is so low that they can't take a joke that everything is serious. Because they from Syria.
Wow.
Serious.
Serious. Hey, Rob, what do you think we need to get, because I know they said we was talking about your Hancock. They took cursive out of the school system. Is that something that we need to get back into, writing in cursive in terms of our children, or how important is cursive and why do you think they removed it from the school system?
Well, cursive is used to write spells. It's not the language. It's not the common language.
Okay.
It became the common language.
Right.
But it was originally designed for spellcraft. If you go back to all of the old languages, it was every individual character and there were no lowercase. The lowercase is probably not even 2,000 years old. Lowercase letters came in when they was trying to fit more stuff in a smaller space. They said if we make a small version of this letter, it'll fit. Right? So that's where they came up with the lowercase concept. The cursive concept, it came from the same source, from Pharmakia, which goes back to ancient Greece. Now, if you look at the Greek letters, they're mostly all capital letters, but they've since added lowercase versions of the capital letter. Right? Now, in the Greek alphabet, you have a symbol that looked like an upside down horseshoe called the omega. And you have another one that looked like a straight line called an alpha. Right? If you put the alpha under the omega, you got the ankh. Because the alpha stands for the alpha male, and the omega stands for the omega mother. That's her womb. That's her womb. So when you get the alpha from the omega, that means you got the son from the mama.
I'm trying to see. I want to pull it up now. It's just so people can have a
visual.
Yeah. So this is what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now look, that's the omega symbol, but it got a capital A with it. In Greek, that's not the alpha. Oh no, it's the alpha is Arabic. Aleph in Arabic, I think it is. It's either Arabic or Hebrew, but one of them, it has the alpha as a straight line. And then you got the omega. There's epsilon, alpha. Okay, so let me see if I see it. So when you see alpha meets the omega, you have that symbol that looked like the A in the middle of the O right there. You see it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, where's that? Right here.
So they don't have the it's iota. That's the letter in Greek is the iota.
Okay.
Iota is the smallest letter in the Greek alphabet that goes under the omega to make the it's the iota. If you look, you see that alphabet chart, there's gold and white right there next to that purple. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. If you click on that, okay, now you see that the iota, it looked like an eye.
Yeah. Iota,
right.
Yep.
So it's the iota, which is actually supposed to represent a small a. but all alphabets are interchangeable in under Grimm's law of grammar. So all of the vowels are interchangeable in the translation of the words. So the iota, the a, so like when they spell in the Greek, they spell Isis, Iesous. They spell it iota epsilon, right? But when they spell it in Kemet, they don't have two letters to represent a vowel. They only had a one letter, right? It's actually offset because it sounds to the Greek like it's an A and a U. So they use the iota and the alpha in order to, or the iota and the epsilon to try to make the same vocalization as the AU. AU is also the symbol for gold on the periodic table of elements, right? Which is the prefix to Isis, because Isis means the throne, or
Mm-hmm.
Aset means the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And the one who owns the throne is called Mary. And that's why Kemet was called Ta Mary, meaning the land of Mary, right? As in Hail Mary, mother of God. But what do that make her? If she birthing God, she's a God maker,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the 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 evolution of the terminologies over the ages has a lot of this stuff has been lost to antiquity because we don't have as many people studying metaphysics, quantum physics, esoteric teachings, occult teachings as we used to. Remember, before the turn of the 1900s, only about 1% of the world was literate,
Mm.
right? So it was almost zero literacy. So who was these people that was literate? They was all part of a secret society because you had to do a lot of studying in secret society in order to advance your degree. So all of your professors back then or your scholars was all uh, in secret society. And sometimes they would call them a guild so they don't have to be secret. The guilds became skilled trades in the workforce that gave birth to unions,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's all connected, even
Mm-hmm.
though it don't look like it is.
Man,
Unified. That's the unified field theory.
since we're talking about unified field theory and you're talking about Hail Mary, Mother of God, we talked on the phone yesterday about this term, the prima materia.
Prima matter.
What
Yeah.
prima? How do you say it exactly? Because
It's
they say
actually pronounced prima mater.
prima matter,
Mater.
matter. All right.
Well, that means prime mother. The reference is to the dark matter of the universe. It's pure chaos energy. You remember Bobby used to always say that the chaos realm is the feminine realm?
Yep. Yep.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he's talking about. Dark matter, right? It's the science of non-ether. It's also called African root science,
Mm.
right? And it's all connected. This is where your rosters tie back to your doctrines from Africa, that tie back to your doctrines from the Americas, that tie back to your doctrines from Asia. Because the African root science, the science of the prima mater, the science of dark matter, it's all the same thing. It got different names because people studying it from a different perspective. But it still mean the prime mother. Prima mater. Matter mean mother. Prima mean prime. The one that started it all. So when
Right.
we say that the Maherta came in and the signal came from the center of the earth, that's orders from Prima Mater, from the Prime Mother, Prime Creator, the first cause, the cause that caused it all.
Mm. You when you came on the scene, Rod, one of the things you stressed since you came on the scene, I think my first interview with you was probably 2021 or something like that, was that behind the scenes there have been black people running this thing all along, and they have been using white people as the face of what they're doing. When do you think with everything happening on the planet right now, when do you think it will return back to, because if white people are a newer race and we've been around for so long, as they say, when will it go back to the face of the people who control everything being black again, and not the face being a pale face European?
So the pale-faced European had to make a public acknowledgement and recognition of the original people by
You think that's
basically,
gonna happen?
oh hell yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Shit.
hell yeah.
Mm.
I believe Donald J. the one gonna do it. I can't prove it till I see it,
Yeah.
but based on the moves he been making, he looked like he gonna be the one that is gonna pass everything back to the original people. Now remember, the original people that he's passed into is not the same ones that been pulling the strings of the pale face.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the same people.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that been hiding don't want to be seen. You have to study 18 dynasty Egyptian priest wars in order to even know what I'm talking about. But they don't want to be seen because they scared that the masses will turn on them. So I ask myself this question. I always do this when I study something. If you a god, what could you be doing that make people want to turn on you?
Something
Think.
immoral, Epstein
Look,
type shit.
I'm gonna put it like this.
Epstein type shit.
The Moors took over, according to the history they gave us, the Moors took over Europe in 711.
Yeah.
And they ruled until 1492. Where that 1492 date come from, Brother Rich? Where we hear that at? In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah.
Where he going? They said he was lost and he discovered a place called India. And they have us believing that he's supposed to have been in Hindustan because it wasn't India yet.
Mm-hmm.
So where was India before Hindustan was named India? Was it even a place called India?
Mm.
I know before Africa was called Africa, there was a province in Brazil called Africa. So that's on the ancient maps, on the older maps, where they call in this region in Brazil, Africa. So the African slave trade could possibly be them moving us from South America to North America, tricking us, right? So if India wasn't India, but Columbus got lost and found himself in India, he still ain't got home yet. He's still lost because India wasn't India until the 1900s.
Yeah. Who you mentioned the 18th dynasty? Who could we reference in the 18th dynasty and say, oh, this was part the black nobility go back to this group here, and they've been doing foul shit since then? What names do we hear about it in the 18th dynasty? I think who was around back then? Akhenaten or some more.
Yeah, Akhenaten. Now remember,
So who
Akhenaten was called an Aten priest,
yeah.
and Tutankhamun, they wanted him to be a Amun priest. What's the difference in the two?
One hides the knowledge and one lets
One
the
hide, they hide from the people and they hide the knowledge. That's the Amun priest.
okay.
The Aten, you remember the sun with the hands coming down off of it?
Yep.
All the different Rashid Wallace got the tattoo on his shoulder.
Yeah. Basketball player. Yep.
Right. The hands that you see coming from the sun represents the sun delivering messages to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, under these hands sit three people. It's the Aset, it's the Osir, and it's the Heru.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As the great earth trinity. Right? The mother, the father, and the son.
Mm-hmm.
But he not the first heir. Heru is not the first heir.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the first one with the right to claim the throne. Do you know who is?
Cool.
Her name is Heru. We always call her Hathor.
Mm-hmm.
She's the rightful heir. But as the son who's rising as pretender to the throne, he has to make sure that he secure his sister's seat for her before he take his father's seat, because he had to be legitimized by her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if something happened to her, then Offset had to pick a replacement, right? And this is why the Oedipus complex always talk about boys fall in love with their mother and marry they mother in their mind, right? That's not what's going on there. It's a frequency. The mother is the only person that love a child unconditionally. If a man luck up and find a woman that love him unconditionally, the mother in her can use his heart chakra like a telephone relay, a switchboard, to communicate with each other without ever seeing each other psychically, right? So while they doing this, he don't know what's going on. He's just in the tarot deck. He's just a fool. Remember the song? Why do fools fall in love?
Mm-hmm.
Why do birds sing so gay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The fool's journey becomes the hero's journey
Mm.
at the end. He started off as a dupe, a goddamn fool, don't know what's going on. But as he began to become self-aware, the whole 70 something cards of the tarot deck unfolded in front of him. And then he starts seeing the people who represent these people in this deck,
Mm.
right? So he gonna find the high priestess. He
Mm.
gonna find he might at different times, if it's the man taking the hero's journey, at different times, all of the males in the deck is gonna be him at a different time of his development, right? He's starting off as the fool. What's the character of the fool? It's a hobo. He
Mm.
got a stick on his shoulder with a bag of stuff tied to it, and he's striking off on his journey. He's infinite potential, but he don't know what potential he's finna fulfill yet until he get to the end of the day.
Mm. Man. It's some wow, man. This thing called life is some interesting shit, Rod. Wow, man. I mean, it's just it's just impossible to. It's impossible. It's like it's impossible to figure it out, Rod.
No, it's not.
It's
We
it's.
listen. We've been taught to belittle our mentalities. Dumb ourselves down. That was called the Amun spell or the Amin. That's why they always say Amen at the end of the prayer. I don't care which one of the religions it is. When you get done praying, you say Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That means everything you just prayed for, don't do that shit. I was just playing.
Mm.
If you just change that one word from Amen to Aten, that means make it be seen, make it be known.
What I-10?
Yeah.
So
The representation of Amun is the sun below the horizon. You can't see it. That's the nighttime. That's moon magic. Right? Now, the concept of the Aten is the sun at high noon. You can't miss that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the top of the sky. Everybody can see it.
Right.
Right. So when you say at the end of the prayer, amen, you saying, I don't want nobody to see it.
Mm.
But if you say Aten in its place, you like make everybody see this. Let the world be known that I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger the prayer that you activating with that energy, the longer it take to happen. Because you got what's called a turnaround time. Now, the universe have to adjust to your frequency, and then it got to make sure you wasn't just playing.
Right.
Right? When it see that you serious,
Serious.
A and B.
Serious.
When it see that you serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
The universe say, okay, the guy called for it, he mean it, he's serious. So it started moving the universe, started moving stuff into alignment and moving stuff into alignment. It happened light years away from you before it get to you.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger it is, the longer it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was studying hermetics, the Franz Bardon hermetics, one of the things he said that made a lot of sense is before you try to manifest something huge, manifest something simple that's easy for the universe to put in your path.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of asking for $1 million, test it with $5 first.
Mm.
And then you pre-code it where the serial numbers say, I want the serial numbers to have this number, and this number in it.
Mm.
Right? So when you get it, you'll know that, yeah, this is the answer.
Mm.
But most people want to go straight to the big stuff.
Yo, speaking of manifesting and money, I found I like to walk in Georgia, but the sun was out, so I had to do a little walk, and I don't get to walk that much in Georgia because it's everybody drives down here. But I went on my little walk. I was walking. I walked to the post office because I walked because I mailed you your cigars today. So I was walking to the post office. By the way, let me just say this. So family, I just came back from Honduras. I haven't had these in a while. These are the small ones. I had the big one and the medium ones, but I sent you, Rod loves these here. So Rod, I sent you the small ones. Super fresh, super duper. Like I just smell it right now. Straight from Honduras. But saying that to say I was walking to the post office and I found $16 on the ground. And I immediately it was in the grass, because I'm walking on like the side of the road. And I was in the grass. I was like, damn. I called my girl immediately. I was like, yo, guess what I found? Because I ain't found money. I usually found in New York, you find all types of shit on the ground. But, I never found none in Georgia like that. So I called her. I'm like, yo, I found $16. She's like, yo, you've been finding money on the ground since I met you. With finding money or finding something or something just appearing in your reality like that, Rod, in terms of materialization, do you think the way this realm works, because we may be confused about how the realm works, did somebody had to drop it there, or maybe I just shifted to a reality that it was just there, or did somebody have to actually drop it there for it to be there? Like, can I just manifest by shifting into a reality where it's just there, Rod?
Okay, so in this particular case,
Yeah.
you use the most logical explanation first. Somebody dropped it.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's the most logical explanation that you come to first. Now, let's say you was out in the woods, though, in the middle of nowhere and found it. That might not be the case. You might have just shifted to the timeline where that $16 was on the table in your old timeline of a building that's there, but in the new timeline, none of that exists. But on the timeline you own, the $6 fell through the timelines with you in order for you to find it. That's the difference.
That's deep right there.
Now, it's also like the denominations. How was it? Was it the 10, the 5, and the 1?
A 10, a $5 bill, and a $1 bill, and it was like folded up, folded up. Yeah, 10, 5, and a 1.
Right. So now, they all got a different meaning individually. Right. We know in tarot, 1 means something is about to start. By being money, that's called a 1 of coins, a 1 of pentacles. Right. And we know 5 in tarot mean that it's a struggle for a change. Right. But then we also know in tarot that 10 means whatever it was, whether it's the swords, whether it's the wine, whether it's the cups, or whether it's the coins, it's the end of something before something else starts. So that's reading them individually. Now, when you mentioned $16, the first thing came to my mind was March Madness, the Sweet 16. Right? Which tied me back to a song by Sam Cooke. She was only 16, right? 16 being a number in older cultures where the girl would go out to present herself for dating.
Mm-hmm.
So the big deal, like in some Spanish countries, it's called a quinceañera every 15 years. When she's 15, she's on the market for a husband. So they throw her a quinceañera,
Mm.
right? In America, mainland, we have a sweet 16 party.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's on the market for marriage. And then all of the guys come, suitors and whatnot. It's not the same as it used to be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at it from a basketball perspective of March Madness, we looking at a March of the Matriarchs because March Madness is based on the movement of the horses, the mares, but they're using it in sports and entertainment in order as a subtle reminder that March is the month that normally leads to the matriarchal awareness of what's taking place and what their position is. So they give it to us as a sport, right? And then they do a countdown. It go from the Sweet 16, then it go to the 8, then it go to the Final Four, then it go to the championship, right? That's a pyramid
Mm.
from 16 to 2 to 1, right? So everything is unified field theory connected. The hard part is applying logic after you see the connection. If you apply a logic before, you won't see the connection.
That okay. Okay.
But if you see the connection, break it down without the logic first, then you can turn it into a statement or a sentence,
Mm.
right? Let's say, for instance, you get a string of phone calls that you miss or took throughout the day. Let's say 6 phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
And you screenshot your screen and say, translate these.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got to use myself and my memory of my life, my book of life, as my codex to translate what it's saying to you by what would it be saying to me. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got to flip the message around to say, if it's saying this to me, it got to be saying this to you based on who you are, right? This is why a lot of people get lost on tarot readers because a lot of
Mm.
tarot readers, they never translate it. So you know what a transliteration is?
Um, something with the Bible, right? Like if they,
It's in linguistics and translate.
what is
Okay,
that?
when you translate from a foreign language into your current language,
Uh huh.
when you use the English character. Let's say we're gonna use Arabic.
Uh huh.
When you're writing the Arabic language in English characters, that's the transliteration,
Okay.
right? It's the phonetic value transfer, but it's not the translation.
They did that with the Bible though, right?
Some words are transliterated.
Okay. Okay.
They did later on. Some of the scholars went back to do a transliteration. Is why they keep saying that Jesus is Jehoshua.
Right. 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 That's what I was.
The words in red is two people talking,
Mm.
not one person. It's the son Emmanuel and his mother Offset or Isis.
Mm.
Isis is commonly translated into English as Jesus
Mm.
because under King James they added the I to the alphabet, which is only they added a J to the alphabet, which is only a I with the bottom bent up because of they need to make it look like a fish hook in order to make you become fisher of men,
Mm. Mm.
right? So if you straighten it out and you read Jesus with the I instead of the J, because that's what was there, IESOUS, right? The O and the U makes the sound, but in English, you don't need both of them. You could just use the U,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
right? So you got IESUS,
Mm.
which is Jesus in English, but in Greek, it's Isis,
Mm.
right? Like Paris. Harris is not even the name. Harris is what they call the contraction, but it's Latin.
Yeah,
And the word that it comes from is Parthodon or Isis,
I heard that.
right? Which is the dwelling place of Isis or the city of Isis, which is Paris, right? So when they be doing this to trick our mind, we ain't supposed to figure none of this stuff out. Right? That's why they keep us in what's called arrested development. They always got us under some kind of arrest. They either arresting our mental, arresting our spiritual, or arresting our physical, but we always under some kind of arrest. And in the case of Afeni Shakur, she died from, as they say in the paperwork, some kind of arrest. They don't know what it was, but it was some kind of arrest. What do arrest mean? To capture.
Yeah.
By force.
Right.
Why would somebody be trying to capture people by force? Because the only people that's qualified to as pretender to the throne, you can't be a bond servant. You have to be a free man on the land. You can't argue with them. You just got the nodal tradition.
Right.
When you start arguing with them, they've got you arrested mentally. Right. That's why I don't do debates, because you're not finna try to arrest me mentally. I'm gonna be free regardless of what you say, to think however I want to think, even if I'm wrong. Because people try to take away other people's right to be wrong.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, that's why I tell people all the time, just because I'm saying it don't make me right. I just might see something you don't see, and you might see something I don't see.
Wow.
Right? The people on the ground see a 6. The people in the sky see a 9. Right. Which one of them right?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and then we live in the realm of infinite possibility. What do infinite possibility mean? Everything possible, don't it?
Yeah.
Okay. If we live in the realm of infinite possibilities, the side effect creates something called infinite probabilities. That means everything that's probable to happen can happen.
Yeah.
Right? Then we live in what's called duality, governed by something called the law of opposites. Right? If you look into the left and I'm looking to the right, we're not going to see the same thing. We're going to have a whole different perspective because we on opposite sides of the spectrum. Right? So I see what I see. You see what you see. You got to fight the war how you see it, not how I see it.
Right.
Now, if you got enough trust in my vision to see what I'm seeing, and you know what you're doing, you can say, you know what, we can work together in this lane, and I could be meeting my purpose. This person could be meeting their purpose, and we can both do more together like that than separate. Right? For a long time, people thought that because I talked about the dirty Moors, I ain't like no Moors. And then nothing could be farther from the truth, because my brother is a Moor. And if you think I don't like Moors, all you got to do is fuck with my brother, and you'll find out how much that don't matter to me. Right? And they can't say I don't like stones. My daughter's a P stone. I'm a GD. They can't say I don't like vice lords because my mama a vice lord. Right? So now, when all of this, the stuff that I'm supposed to hate, I got a reason not to. Right? My sister ex-husband and more. You know what I'm saying? So I had Moors that gave heart ill. I wish I could find it, because he used to give me so many potent books to read. And he the one introduced me to Dr. Valentine, Ashwar Kwesi, a whole lot. I was locked up with Dyson Bay, which is Michael Eric Dyson's brother. I talked to him on the phone because his brother wanted him to talk to me. I never met him in person. But I was locked up with his brother, who called him on the phone, who just so happened to be a Moor. Right? So it's like I don't have a dog in that Morris fight. That's not my fight, right? The only way I got any interest in that is because Angel Bay not here to clean that shit up. Jeff Fort not here to clean it up. So when it comes time for something that he's supposed to be speaking on, and he's not here to do it, I'm not a bond servant. I'm not under anybody's contract, right? So I can say whatever he needs said, I can say it. If he wrote me a letter right now and told me to cuss out Donald Trump, I'm cussing Donald Trump ass out as soon as I get done reading the letter. And he not my chief. That people they got to understand that. But the love doesn't change because he's a chief from another color, another clan. The love doesn't go nowhere. Once somebody catch you in that heart chakra, love is love. It's going to express. Right? And he got me when he was talking to the police and he was like, they worrying about killing us. They need to put on some kind of uniform so we can identify who we dealing with. Because it won't be no killing without killing. Right? And you're not finna kill mine and we don't do something to you. And the government, I knew how the government operate. They couldn't allow that mentality to flourish in the community because then they can't hold us down no more. Right? When we all thinking like that won't be no killing without killing, that's that idea alone. And I don't give a damn about your civil rights. I don't care about your legislators, and none of that got nothing to do with us. Not as the tribes of the land. Nothing going on in DC ever had anything to do with the collective tribes of this land. Everything in DC was about a handful of colonizers, and most of them hid behind pale faces, and they come telling us to kill whitey. And they the white man, but they don't look white.
Right.
They Negroes, Negropeans. And they thought they were smarter than us because the challenge was in 200 years, we wouldn't know what side of the ocean we came from when they get done doing their little old conjure brain scramble thing. You know?
Hey, Rod, I want to, I just looked up and I seen we got 4,800 people in the chat. So I do want to get to some questions from y'all. We got a packed house tonight, so I do want to get to some questions from y'all. So start loading up the chat with questions. I'm gonna get to some questions for Rod. Before that, I'm trying to think. Okay, so I told y'all late last year about the Carbon Code Collective. I'm going to be starting it on Patreon. I was working with an app developer, a black dude, and it didn't work out the way we wanted to. Whatever AI program he was using wasn't able to create it the way I wanted to. So I'm just going to start, it's already July, so I waited long enough. I'm just going to implement it on my Patreon for now. So if you are interested, this is going to be a scientific community that is interested in tapping into the technologies of the heart and the technologies of the human avatar. We will be studying radionics. We'll be studying a lot of the sacred sciences, and we're going to be doing a lot of studying. We're going to be doing a lot of reading. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to get help from a tremendous amount of the guests on my channel. We're going to start a Discord, and this will probably be, I think I'm gonna kick it off definitely by July 17th. That's my mother's birthday. Definitely by July 17th. It's July 1st. So I'm definitely gonna kick it off by July 17th. But let me just share the link. Make sure you sign up to the Patreon. Rod's gonna be a big help with the first couple of episodes. I know he got something coming up later in the year that he's working on, but we're gonna be working together for the first couple of episodes. With the book club. So it's just so much. I'm gonna have a whole show talking about it. It's gonna be a book club. It's gonna be a Discord community. It's gonna be a lot going on. So make sure I just shared the Patreon link. make sure you sign up to Patreon to be a part of the Carbon Code Collective. And I'm gonna do a nice big show introducing it. Well, man, I'm gonna have a lot of the family on there. Hopefully, I can get Rod on that show. So it'll be a nice big show to let y'all know about that. Also, something else I want to tell the family, Rod, before we get into questions. Well, let me ask you one last question before I get into questions, Rod. All right, so in terms of the codes coming from the sun, the instructions coming from the sun, a lot of people say, I want to talk about the sun's information's connection to our epigenetics, our DNA and our epigenetics. So our epigenetics is programmable. Based on your frequency, you could turn on or off a gene. Now, I want to know, is the instructions, the information we're getting from the sun, is that also programmable, or is that like certain specific instructions that we're getting, or is that just things that we could utilize to further to enhance our programming of our epigenetics?
That's like a single dog. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a dog, right? But a group of dogs is a pack.
Right.
The pack don't move like the individual, and the individual don't move like the pack. The sun is going to upgrade pack mentality, pack energy, pack frequency.
Mm-hmm.
When you take charge of your programming you epigenetically, then you are controlling the self. You becoming the god of the self. When you become the god of the self, the more skilled you become at it, then you begin to become that same influence over others over time. But
Mm-hmm.
the change comes in for the individual through him doing the self work. That's why I say a lot of people that didn't do their work gonna get turned off. But when the sun rays come in, it's communicating with the earth mitochondria that's connected to all of the women. All of the grievances of humanity is on the genome. And the most, whatever can fix the most grievances at one time will be the frequency the sun sent to the earth. When the earth assimilated and run what's called a pilot program, this is what you're seeing now in Europe. That's the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now over here, the projection is two heat domes. The two heat domes represent two memory glands, and they red. In the Doppler effect, they look red. The color being red symbolizes the mother line. So it ain't a man chest, it's a female breast that's creating this heat dome. And we call this is the resurrection of the divine feminine. But it's coming in on the solar wave and is being translated by the earth as a Schumann response. The upgrade to the genetics then is going to go through the same process as the epigenetic tell us. It's going to project inside the body from outside the body, and then it's going to permeate into the subconscious mind, and it's going to start flipping switches in your brain. Turn this off, turn this on, turn this off, turn this on. That's what's going to make people have headaches. Because when they go to a switch that you didn't develop, they can't turn it on. And then when they turn on the one that you did develop, it's going to cause the other one to short out. And it's not going to stop because one short out. It got to short out enough of them to turn you off. So when all of the birth defects is going to be corrected, all of the character flaws is going to start being corrected. The ones that's innate, not the ones that you learn. The learned behaviors is the self work. Your ego is the sum total of everything anybody said about you that's not true, but you believed it.
Mm.
That's what your ego is created from.
Mm-hmm.
Your truth, though, is everything you know about yourself to be true, whether anybody said it or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's your truth, though. The goal is to purify the ego. That's to get over all of the BS you believe about yourself. I ain't nothing, gonna never be nothing. Oh man, I gotta work for 50, 60 years. No, all that's false ideology. The only reason we gotta work so long is because we rather work with the labor than to use brain power. All you gotta do is look at the world we live in and you will realize the people that use their mind the most work the less. The people that use their mind the least work the most.
Right.
It's a trade off. The
Yeah.
ones who work the most make the least amount of money. The ones who work the least make the most amount of money. That's because it's the trade off,
Yeah.
the energy shift.
Mm. Yeah. Let's all right, let's get to wow, you got this chat. You got this chat booming tonight, Rod. Wow. Shout out to everybody in the chat. First thing first, I seen somebody in the yeah, I'm glad. Thanks for reminding me of the super chat, y'all. I definitely gotta get to the super chats first. Somebody we always ask for Rod's Cash App, so I always gotta, share my brother's Cash App, make sure we support my brother for the magnificent work he does for the community. Rod, okay, SIKAPE. All right, so for those who want to know Brother Rod Hayes Cash App, if you want to support the brother, you can hit up his Cash App. I would advise all y'all to hit up the brother's Cash App, show the brother support, show the brother some love, some reciprocity. His Cash App is capital SIKAPE. All right, so make sure if we got 4,800 people in the chat, let's show my brother some love. I want my brother to say, "God damn, brother Rich, your people don't play." I like when the speakers call and tell me that. Make me feel good that we did something. So make sure y'all hit up the brother's Cash App. All right. Now let's get to some of the super chats. Yeah, family, when you write questions, make sure they make sense. Sometimes y'all write questions and I don't know what you're talking about. I see the first question. It says, I have a question. Would cause anxiety flares or racing heart? See, it's like a run-on sentence. I don't know. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Okay.
They left
Explain.
a word out. They left one word out.
What word?
It
About?
said, I have a question that's supposed to be a period. What would cause anxiety flares and a racing heart? And all of this can be done by the Schumann resonance or by the solar flares. Either one of them can give you those sensations,
Mm.
right? Because it's agitating your energy on the inside and it's compelling you to make a move about something, right? And the anxiety is a lot of time coming from being unsure about the information that you're receiving internally.
Okay. Let's keep this thing. Yeah, y'all still putting the temperature. They said it's 105 in the VA. Yeah. It's that sun. That sun is out there sunning. When I went to the post office today to send Rod his cigars, it was empty in there. That mall is usually packed. I said, "Oh, the sun got ain't nobody coming out to the post office in this sun."
Hey,
Shit.
look, I was about 15 years old. We went to Mississippi to visit my auntie. It was about 105 or 107 degrees outside. I was the only motherfucker on the basketball court.
Damn.
I was out there all by myself shooting baskets.
Oh
And
man.
then all the old people down south, they know I'm not from around there. So they say, hey, what is it? They got a term they call you youngster. Hey youngster, you can't be out there, that sun gonna whoop your tail. You need to go over there until the sun go down something. It's too hot out there. I was loving that heat. You know what it did, Brother Rick? That heat turned my hair burnt auburn. My hair was burnt auburn red when I left Mississippi.
Damn. Wow. That's let's start out with the questions. Because I know a lot. I meant to ask this earlier. We talked about CERN. We talked about the heat wave and everything going on. What's the deal with the earthquakes, Rod? Thanks for reminding me of this question. I know a couple of y'all asked this.
You don't remember
earthquakes? We talked about it on the phone.
Yeah, you don't remember earlier I said when they get the rump shaking?
You were talking about the woman, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's different reasons for them. The one in Venezuela is supposed to be the movement of what they call a dragon, but it's not a dragon. It's the when you hear the term riding the dragon, that's following the energy around the earth. The chakra energy flows, and it looked like a dragon. It's just doing this.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And so riding the dragon, you have that's how you find the sacerdotal seat. Because at every peak or every valley is a spot where there should be a sacerdotal seat.
Mm-hmm.
So then you look in the history books at the area and you'll find where the sacerdotal seat was. The sacerdotal seat that was usurped in the Americas was in Philadelphia at Congress Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And so the when you trace it to the one before that, you end up in with Europa, then you end up with Kalima. The usurper seat is Vatican for the Vatican. That's not where it's supposed to be. Then you go from there to what they call the lotus seat in China. Then you got what's called the blossom seat in Japan. Then the blossom seat goes to what they call the in modern English, because I don't know what the old term was because it's lost. We would call it the Chiquita seat. You ever see the lady with the fruit basket on her head on the Chiquita
Yeah.
banana emblem?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a sacerdotal seat. And so they had different ones, but the first or the one of the oldest ones was in Australia. That's why they still call it the Queensland. Because most of the tribes in Australia, regardless of what the patriarchy say, what my mama say.
Right. Right. Right.
Right. So even if the daddy come in and say clean your room up, he not the authority figure in a lot of the tribal communities. He's the advisor to the authority figure. And he'd come in and tell you to clean the room up, and they'll turn around and say, well, what did mama say, Dad? Right? That's why the parents supposed to be on the same page. Because when he come in to tell them something, she gotta sign off on it, or the child not gonna do it. Right? But if he come in and say your mom's, and every time they go to her, she be like, yeah, do what your daddy told you to do. In America, it's exactly the opposite because we on the other side of the equator.
Mm-hmm.
In America and Europe, the mama tell the child to do something, they don't want to hear nothing. And then the pops come in there and like, hey, what your mama tell you to do? They get up, and they moving.
Mm.
That's because of the equator is the flip.
Mm. So obviously on TikTok they're saying that the government caused some of these earthquakes. So it's not, you don't believe it's the government causing. You believe these earthquakes are
It depends
natural.
on the magnitude. Most of the ones caused by the government are blowing underground bunkers, and it's between 2.3, I think, and 2.9.
Right.
If it's a real big one, it might get as high as 3.6. But when you start seeing fours and fives, that's not the government.
Hey Rod, can we can we do while we got, because we about to hit 5,000 in the chat, and the later it gets and we ask questions, some people may sign out. It's getting later and later. Can we do a quick collective prayer? Could you lead us in a quick collective prayer to restore the order of the earth, its proper order, restore the
You,
mayat or the
you do
balance?
you do know I don't pray, right?
We're not praying, right? I know you told me that. You know what I'm talking about. Meditation. What were we? Because you told me that before, like a meditation or something. May we, can you wanna do that, or you?
No, it's the women's time. That ain't for me right now. That's for the women to do. So the women have a ritual coming up
Yeah.
that they haven't started scheduling yet. That's going to change the earth for the new age.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
it has to be led by either in our tradition, the Oshun priest,
Uh,
or in some of the other ones, a Yoni priestess, right? And it got to be like a off. They can have men come as speakers and guests, but the whole event has to be women.
damn, I wish I had somebody to call up. It's late now to do this thing. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Let's get to Let's get to another question. Uh Peace and blessings to 363 Empire Chief Hayes. What you think about calling so-called back, well, you probably mean
The
black
black
people,
people.
to the indigenous copper-colored freemen and women of so-called North America? I don't understand the question. This is what I be saying. I don't understand the question.
I don't know if she mean about calling the indigenous people black, but I'm gonna tell you this about the term. And we call ourselves black and proud, right? Let me take y'all back to a little tribal history. In
Black.
the tribal tradition, we have what's called stealth priests.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to see them until shit go bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In this, they come from every totem clan. You have your Black Panthers, your Black Eagles, your Black Hawks, um, your Black Elk, your Black Wolf. These are different tribes of warriors, and they identifier will be one of those animal totems. Collectively, they call the blacks, right? Now, if you go to World War II, you'll find out that World War II had what was called the Black Panther Brigade. Out of most of them came from Mississippi. The whole Black Panther concept is a Mississippian stealth priest model. The Black Panther itself is a black cougar in the north or a black jaguar when you start talking about the South going into South America. It becomes a black jaguar. But all felines, if they black, is a Black Panther. Now, the Black Panther priest is overseen by what's called segment priests, which is governed by the zodiac sign of the Leo. And it's also governed by the sun, which ties into Oshun's energy being gold and the the frequency of the energy of Oshun, the honeypot, right? So the black ones, the ones that was referred to as black, is the defense pieces on the chessboard. The ones referred to as white was the ones who attacked us. If you go back to chess, you realize, unless you're a roster, the
Mm-hmm.
white piece move first because they on attack. The black pieces move last because they on the defense. And this was the same model that we was dealing with the Europeans that came over here, right? And we playing out a drawn out chess game. It's called a protracted struggle of liberation that has to follow a particular pattern. And in this pattern, you get to see who did what, right? You get to go all the way back to the Continental Congress. You get to see the Virginia Company, the Northwest Trading Company, the Royal Moroccan Company, the Royal Ifrik Company. All these companies became governments over time in order to deceive the people. And the ones called black job is to upset the balance of power until the black pieces that's on defense can now take the attack position, but it has to all be done because of the blood magic. It had to be we had to educate ourselves above the conditions we was in order to see what everybody had done to us and how to get from under it. And that's why we had to solve the problem instead of wallowing in the problem. And they taught us to cry about the problem, cry about the past. Instead of being proactive, they taught us to be reactive. So they have to do something first,
Mm-hmm.
kill George Floyd, in order for us to hit the streets and tell them Black Lives Matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every time. Now, when we realize what's going on, it's going to cause something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to kill somebody and they're going to sensationalize it in the news, and we not going to go out in the streets and tear up nothing. We just not going to do it. So it played out with the Asian dude that shot the little brother in the Carmelo Anthony case. They was supposed to make us go batshit crazy and tear up the whole land. So they could say, see, I told you they wasn't ready, but it didn't work. There was too many of us saying this is a psyop. You've seen it on social media. Even though Carmelo Anthony got his time and he's locked up for real, even though the Asian guy got acquitted for real, just because something happened for real don't mean it's not done as a psychological operation and a control measure, right? When we tell them that the government killed somebody, they don't want to believe that the government killed more people than private citizens, right? But they do. But people can't see it because the news don't put what the government do in the news. They put what individual people do in the news. So we get all our current events from the news. So we only seeing a specific group of people always on the news for doing dumb shit. That's by design. That's not an accident. And when you study advertising, entertainment, and subliminal programming, you start realizing that all this stuff is being done with an agenda attached to it. Every movie, every cartoon, every stand-up comedy, it don't matter what it is, and if you see it come across your TV, it's part of a psychological operations. It's there for a reason. That's why social media has been taken over, because a lot of people was catching on, especially with Trump keeps saying fake news, right? So now people was questioning the news that never questioned it before. Just by saying the question to yourself, what if this fake news? Then you start seeing the cracks in the stories. Look, anybody can do this. Go look up the date Carmelo Anthony got convicted. Then ask Google, how many young males in this age bracket from 17 to 21 got convicted of a murder on this date? When you see it, you're going to be like, well, why he the only motherfucker on TV? All these people get convicted and he the only one on TV. Then when you look at the Asian dude, look at how many Asians, well, it's not going to be a lot of Asians because they're not really strong in the criminal element. But when you ask them how many people got acquitted for murders on this same day, then you say, well, why is he the only one in the news for getting acquitted? It's gonna be if it's only 3 other people, right? If it's only 3 other people got acquitted across the country on that day, but we know damn near every major city had trials going on. But let's just say only 3. Why he the only one in the news? Where the other 2 at?
Gotcha.
Right? It's the same with Carmelo Anthony. Let's say it was 4. 4 people got convicted all over the country on that day in that age bracket that fit his description. Young black male. Okay. Where the rest of them at? Why they ain't in the news? Why they not making national news like Carmelo Anthony? Right. So people now we have the ability to look into stuff deeper because they have access to AI, Google, and all these other internet resources that we didn't have 30 years ago. We didn't have this technology in the 90s. So how will we even figure out how to cross-reference this stuff? We would have no means to do it.
Yo, Rod, I'm laughing. You know that meme you heard of? Somebody just texted me when Boozy, and I see somebody say this before the show started. That's probably why somebody texted me when Boozy was like, "Come on, man."
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
When they was like, "Tell Rod, come on, man." When you said you didn't want to meditate, they said, "Tell Rod, come on, man." Yo, somebody in the chat mentioned new diamonds. Are you still around in the chat? New diamonds, because you could come on real quick for 5 minutes and lead us in a quick meditation. Do you mind that, Rod? If we get
no, I'm cool with it.
You still in the chat? I don't know. I don't see a name. I don't know if the sister's still in the chat. I'm trying to get somebody I know, and I'm not calling a woman at 11 o'clock at night. So I'm not doing that. So
Yeah, that don't look good with a married man calling a
no,
woman.
that doesn't that people in relationships don't know about that, but I ain't calling no woman. I'll call Ride or some red or blue, but no, I'm not calling no woman 11 o'clock at night. But yeah, she's still in the chat. Well, let's get to the next. You know, speaking of the divine feminine, oh my God, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan.
Oh man, that would
Right?
hit me. That
Can
would
you
hit me
touch
like
on
a ton.
that?
Of,
Can
that
you
that hit
touch?
me like a ton of bricks.
Oh man,
But she didn't have a regular transition. She went straight to 9D.
what you mean, Rod?
Okay, look at the age. She was 90 years old, right? 90 is a homonym for 9D.
Mm,
And the ninth dimension is where all things is converging. So whatever happened with Mother Khadijah, where she at now, she can control more stuff through the people that loved her than she could when she was in the physical form. And a lot of people don't know this, but she was the one greenlighting me to do this work.
mm,
So that's why it hit me so hard.
wow.
That hit me hard and caught me off guard.
Real quick, New Diamonds, click on that link in the chat. Click on that link in the chat. Come on, real quick, New Diamonds. Click on that link in the chat. Yeah, yeah. What do you? How do you feel, Rod? About a lot of times, you know, we talk about the holy drama and this love element. We mentioned the whole love thing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When your wife goes or when your husband goes, you end up going right behind them. What does that mean cosmically? Like, was that in the soul contract? Yo, when you leave, I'm leaving. Is it a broken heart? So you just gotta like, what happens with that? Because we see that happen a lot. When one person leaves, their mate goes right behind them, Rod.
Yeah, my mother and my father is a prime example.
Mm,
My mother got sick in 2010, and my father used to, he'd be crying about her being sick.
yeah.
And he said, I don't want her to go because if she die, I won't live a year.
Right.
Right. My mama passed November the 7th, 1 year, and my father died or passed October 27th the following year. He didn't make it a year. That's
Mm,
because the love bond.
yeah.
When the love is real
Yeah.
and your counterpart not here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I ain't feeling this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go where the love went, wherever it went. If it went to hell, send me to hell because I'm going where the love went.
Woo!
If
Talking
it ain't here
tall.
no more, if it ain't here no more to be my power and my strength, send me where the love went.
Shit. You said you go to hell.
Yeah, we already did because we in hell now. We just trying to change it back to heaven. But the whole concept, the hell concept they give us, the eternal flames wouldn't even bother you because the pure love is true passion. And passion burn hotter than any flame. So hell won't bother you if the love is in hell. Send me to hell.
Mm.
I'm not worried about the flames down there because the passion gonna be hotter than the flames. I might run Lucifer ass up out of there.
Rod
Or
talking that shit.
whoever commanding the armies of hell, my passion for the love I have for the one I love will run his ass up out of there. He gonna give me the throne, the scepter. Oh, hey man, you got it, dog. I ain't never felt no heat like this. That
Damn.
passion you got, that love you got, you move universes with that.
Yeah, man.
And it's the connection,
That's some
right?
strong
And then in a marriage situation, your wife is your mitochondrial host.
meaning.
If
Meaning
you,
what?
meaning that you can't stay here without her, but for a certain period of time, unless you pass the baton to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna love you unconditionally. The love has to be unconditional, or she can't pass it. It only can be passed through an unconditional channel, an open and free channel.
Mm.
So, I mean, Most of the men don't know. They only hear about the grace of the women.
Mm.
And the women don't even know it. If the women understood that the men is only here by the grace of the women would act different about who they are, and it would force the men to act different about who they are. That's why they kept it secret. That's why you had to go to Bobby Hemming class to find all this stuff out. Somebody that's going to use a lot of colorful epithets to break the conjure that's on your brain,
Right.
and then remind you that the chaos realm, the dark realm, the underworld, that's the feminine realm. This is where everything is birthed. Everybody talk love and light. Love and light was born in triple darkness,
Mm.
right? Remember, it said the light shined in the dark, and the dark comprehended not. Like, what the fuck is this? And the only thing that can light up infinite darkness is infinite love. So when the dark mother fell in love with herself, it created a spark,
Mm.
and that sparks triggered creation.
Hey man, that's a perfect transition. I want to do a quick, as we still got 4,800 people in the chat. I want to do shout out to New Diamonds. Peace, Queen. How you doing?
Peace, peace. Super excited to be here. Shout
All
out
right.
to you guys.
Indeed. So I would love if you could lead us in a 5 minute, nothing long, in
I
a
gotta
five
say something.
5 minute meditation for us to get in tune with the proper frequency that we need to be in tune with to resonate with our true authentic self, our vibrational self that is way greater than the earth rovers, as Rod calls them, that we are using right now as our interface to this realm. New Diamonds. Rod, what you want to say, Rod?
When you brought her on, it was like the sun came out. I don't know where she came from. I don't know where you found her at. But when you brought her on here, it was like the sun came out. I don't know who she is, but I tell you what, that you made my day already.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you,
Thank you.
Rich. I appreciate you, Rod. I think I speak for the collective when I say this has been a powerful, powerful, enlightening message. And I feel like this is a time of that love, really tapping into that love frequency. Like Ross was saying, love trumps all. And this is where we really need to center ourselves in our hearts and really tap into that unconditional love of ourselves, that we're able to radiate that love and light out to the community, out to the collective, out to the world. So um, it's an honor to start off this beautiful meditation, but as we get into the energy, I would love for everybody, even if you have your phone in your hand, turn the volume up, sit your phones down, um, and get relaxed, get comfortable, get in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Hold and release. Deep inhale through your nose. Hold and release. Deep inhale through the nose. Hold and release. Now we're going to start to channel this energy into our heart centers. So locate your heart chakra. You can place your hands on your heart chakra if you feel called to. Connect with that space. Connect with the unconditional love of yourself. Source. Your heart is beating. The heartbeat. Connect with that. And I want everyone to send out love and light around the globe to everyone in need, sending out peace, love, joy, happiness, bliss. Let your light shine as the earth is charging us up. We are charging one another up. And just breathe in, breathe out. Letting go all of the worries, tapping into your divine frequency. Anchoring into that bliss. And shining your light. Whenever you feel ready, you can return back to your conscious space, opening up your eyes, giving thanks. You are able, you are breathing. And just remember to send out peace, love, light to the collective. Gratitude.
All right, all right.
I say.
Hey, indeed, indeed.
Ashe.
Hey, New Diamonds, I want to thank you for coming on real quick and providing us with that.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Peace, Queen.
Peace.
All right, all right. Right, that was dope, right, family?
Yeah, I hate to see it go.
Yeah, that was fire. That was dope. I wanted to, I wanted to just align us all with the energy in the planet. So yeah, we definitely needed that. Let's get to we hit the 2 hour mark. I don't want to keep Rod too much longer. Let's get to a couple of more questions and then we're gonna get out of here. I gotta hit up some of these super chats. Okay, let's see what this one. The creators of Batman and Superman were forced by the U.S. government in 1940 to join the military. This is just a statement. That's not a question. All right. Okay. Can anyone explain burning in the heart center or feeling like for ungrounded?
Look, I put a post up a couple days ago because the Schumann resonance and the solar flares had my heart channel wide open, and only thing I could think of is I had Michelle A in my heart singing something in my
Something
heart.
in my heart. Something got me hooked on. Yeah.
Hey, brother Rich, when we get off, we'll send you the post so you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know what it is with this solar flares and this Schumann, but it got me feeling all Michelle A in the heart. And I had the song playing.
Wow.
But then look, somebody in the comments was like, "Love is an action word." And I had a post a couple days ago on my page, and it said, "Love is a verb, not a noun."
Mm-hmm.
Right? You could tell somebody all you want, but until you show them, it don't mean nothing.
I agree. Yep. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Man, she had me doing the meditation, and I was like, "Oh, here come that Michelle A shit in my heart again."
Somebody said, please, Rich, don't ever do that again. Y'all like my singing? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Yo, no Boosie. Come on, man. Let's get to another question. Let me see.
We can do 3 more questions, Rich.
Okay. Are the dirty Moors walking among us? If so, how can we identify them, and what do they look like modern time, Rod?
Only way you can tell them is by how they operate.
Okay.
Right. When you dealing with one of them, you ain't gonna never be right. Even if you know and you got all of the facts to prove it, you're not gonna never be right. especially if you're going against something they're trying to tell you. You come with all the facts you want to, you're not gonna be right. They're gonna argue you down how you wrong. Oh, brother, it don't mean that what you think. That's the number one way. Or a group of peaceful people congregate and they're gonna come in with some BS every time. It never fails.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
Them the two main identifiers of who they are. They love dogma
Right. Mm-hmm.
and they love disrupting peaceful gatherings of us. It got to be us though.
Right. Okay, let's get to somebody said, why is love such a strong frequency that even if you're done wrong, it don't make the vibration cease?
Well, when the love is sincere, there's nothing you can do about it. When the love is sincere, it's the overriding principle of the universe. Larry teaches us that the first law of the universe is love.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else in the universe stems from that frequency. Remember earlier when I said that the first spark of love and light, that was when the prime creator fell in love with herself.
Mm.
It generated that spark of light,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why I say the light shined in the dark, but the dark comprehended not. It didn't. It wasn't because it didn't comprehend what the light was, because the light was made from what the essence of the dark is. But it's just the fact that the love frequency turned on and overwhelmed Prime Creator to the point where she had to create in order to feel um, productive with the energy. So
Mm.
now we are miniature versions of the Creator, trying to find the love frequency so we can create our best life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So love is it's the control center for coming from the control center of existence.
Mm. The control center coming from the control center of existence.
And it's in every one of our hearts.
And it's in every one of our hearts. Wow. That's amazing, y'all. Rod dropped it tonight, y'all. Rod dropped it tonight, y'all. Let me because I see somebody said, how can I get a cigar? Let me show you the link real quick. If you would like to it's donation based. If you would like to donate to get a cigar, people who donate 30 on, you can donate whatever you want, but if you donate 30 or more, I'll gift you a cigar. Let me know when you if you are looking to get a cigar, if you want, because I haven't had the small ones for a while. They are limited. I'm letting you know now. These are the smaller ones. They're limited. I have more than this, but if you want the smaller ones, specify it in the messages. Those are the ones Rod likes. He likes smaller ones. Let me know in the message. But they are limited. So when I run out, I can't send you what I don't have. But just letting you know, I do have the small ones. And God, every time I open it, I'm a smoke one after this show, Rod. They are potent, Rod. I mean, they are fresh. I'm talking about they fresh.
I know they was good to help me think.
No, listen, when I went to Honduras, my homie, my connect, who he's from Honduras, he told the people, he was like, make sure you give Rich the ones y'all just made. Do not give them the ones that have been sitting around. So they're like the freshest ones I ever got. Like they literally just rolled them, and then I came and I got them. So they're like fresh, yo. So yeah, just want to say that there. But Rod, you're gonna get yours on, I think Monday. I think yours arrive on Monday. I think the tracking said. Let's get another.
Hey, you know where the greatest tobacco used to be grown? The most flavorful, aromatic, and palatable tobacco used to be grown in the Carolinas.
Oh wow. When did that stop? Like when?
When Big Pharma took over the cigarette industry,
Wow.
they took over most of the tobacco plantations and to make cigarettes, and then they started creating cheap pesticide laden, chemical laced what we smoke on a regular basis. But the Carolinas always had the world's best tobacco until they started that BS.
What was it about the Carolinas, Rod? Well, what's in the Carolina? Is it
The soil, the
the red?
humidity, The soil, the humidity, the exposure to the sunlight, and the people that grew it were had been doing it for generations. They still got people down there that grow it, but they don't grow it like they used to. Like we used to have a tobacco plantation as far as the eye could see, and nothing but tobacco plant.
I heard.
Now the people that's it's in their blood, they just grow little small patches around their local farm and whatnot. But there's still some people down there in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, especially when you go up there where the Gullah Geechee on it's a little island. They still dabble in growing tobacco, and they still have some pretty good stuff. But all the way up until they start turning, created all these cigarette companies,
Yeah.
the Carolinas had the world's greatest tobacco.
When did Newport and all that shit come around? The cigarette. What year
Newports
was that?
Newports came out in the 70s. Cools came out before Newports.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that was
cool.
like the first. That was one of the first cigarettes, cools.
No, those were cigarettes that we see now that's popular now. Like you got others like Camel, Pall Mall, Lucky Strikes. Those go all the way back to the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Matter of fact, you can listen to some of the old blues songs and you will hear them talking about a Lucky Strike or a Camel.
Okay.
And you know the Camel was native to over here, not to the Middle East.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, the camel native, the lion, and the elephant all started here.
So why is it not here anymore?
Well, for several reasons. One, when colonizers came, they killed them all the
Mm-hmm.
ones that was left. And the ones that you see in Africa and India, those was gifts from the royals of this land to the royals of those lands. The same with the lion. You had the 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 most potent lion used to be the black maned lion. You hardly ever see them now.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony of it is when the matriarch started making a move, it had a lion that left was walking up the Himalayas, climbing the Himalayas as a sign. That's a spiritual sign. And then I think about a week or two later, they had an all black lion that hadn't been seen in several hundred years appeared
Mm-hmm.
on the Serengeti Plain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So those were signs of the new age, the dawning of the new age.
Got you. Amazing. Let's get to one last question for Rod before my brother gets out of
We
here.
actually got two more questions because you
Oh,
took
two
the.
more. Okay, good. All right, well, let's get to a question from New Diamonds. I have a picture with multiple suns objects in the sky. Do you have any idea what these could be?
I got a good idea, but I can't prove it. But we know that the secondary sun is Nibiru, Rilo 7, Planet of the Crossing, Planet X. It's the secondary sun. If you
Mm-hmm.
remember, Dr. Delbert Blair used to say we have a binary star system. We're not in a lone star system, we're in a binary star system. Well, the
Right.
second star we call Nibiru, right? And there's a planet trail behind Nibiru. And depending on where it's at, you can see the illumination of the planet trail behind Nibiru. It looked like stars in the sky.
Mm.
Or some of them, when they get closer, it looked like a whole bunch of suns.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's just one sun. But the rest of them is illuminated by that one sun.
Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. Let's get to another super chat question. So, let me see. Let's get a good one. Let's get a good one, y'all. Let's get a good one. All right. Well, let's get to this one first. What's expected to happen when they turn CERN back on? I think
It's
that's
like
2030.
they're
So
not turning it back on. The matriarchy is not going to allow them to turn it back on because when they brought Vatican through, it usurped the matriarchal structure. And it's part of the reason they shut it down. They don't want right now is a volatile time for Earth. A lot of people not understanding what's going on.
right.
While the matriarchy is restoring the Earth energetically, they had to shut CERN down because they can't let none of those entities come through them stargates right now. CERN not the only thing shut down. Most of the stargates are shut down too. They don't have to tell you that because most of us don't know they even exist.
Mm. Mm. All right. Let's get and let's get one more real quick, Rod. Are we the Orishas reincarnated?
Well, we got to remember it's only 7 Orishas,
Mm-hmm.
right? The rest of them is the children. So,
Mm-hmm.
like if you got the Gullah Geechee, the Giddy Geechee, these are different family branches, and it depend on your Orisha,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you go to the other tradition, they're the lower, but in the one tradition, it's the Orisha. And they also call the 7 African powers, but I don't know why they call them that because they're not from Africa. But they call them the 7 African powers. And the one who sits on the top is Obatala, but Obatala still got to answer to the Great Mother. He's the enforcer god of the will of the creator. They call him the creator, but he's not really the creator. He's really the one that tells the rest of them how to, like, he the wise man for the pantheon, right? So Ogun come through, he gonna tear some shit up, right? And he need to know what to tear up. He got to go consult with Pops,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or Oshun get upset, you know, and she won't tell her brothers what to do. They don't want to listen to her. She got to go consult with the old man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like structure. It's a structure. Whether it's the Loa, whether it's the Orisha, whether it's the 7 African powers, that's the old earth magic. That's originally was Heka and Kemet.
Hecka, right? Hecka. Yep.
Right. So it broke up into linguistic stock and it broke up into cultural stock. And this is why you have the different versions of it. Because you had different people from different temperaments trying to access the energies, and then the energy they access and said, you can't use me on this part of the land in this frequency. You have to do this instead. And this is why the the practices of dealing with the Orisha or dealing with the Loas is different, but the same. There's certain variations that come with it that's tailored to the culture. Like Haiti doesn't practice Badoon the way Louisiana do. But
Mm-hmm.
if you take a high practitioner from Haiti and bring them to Louisiana, they can work well with each other because they understand the differences in their traditions and how to use each one of the traditions to strengthen the other. And I
Mm-hmm.
brought Haiti up for a reason because when we look at the migration post Haitian Revolution, you're gonna see that all of the people that left Haiti in the few years following that went to New Orleans and they went to Florida. Well, that was for a reason. All of the priests went to the New Orleans, and all of the soldiers went to go fight Gullah wars in Florida. Go look it up.
Mm. Indeed. Man, what a show, what a show, what a show. Rod, what a show, man. Just what we needed tonight, man. You got the people 2 hours later, they still hanging on to you every word. They still in the chat, man. Wow. Rod, what tell the people what you got coming up, Rod? Because I know you was telling, I don't know if you want to tell the family.
I don't got nothing coming up. I'm trying to get off social media altogether so I could do this in person with small groups coming to visit and hang out for a while at the crib. I
Right.
don't want to. I hate social media.
Mm. Yeah, no, I feel you. That's one of the reasons why I'm building the micro community on Patreon. Just to, it's so much yeah, social media. What do you think? Is this the first time in Earth's history that you're probably gonna say no, that the esoteric occult spiritual information was available to everybody? Like anybody had access to it? Or was like this before?
Everybody was a high practitioner until the war came.
What war? There's so many wars, Rod.
Yeah. Well,
So
the first Anunnaki war was the beginning of the restricting the information
okay.
because they started killing. Remember when the war first kicked off, they only killing the very few men we had at the time because
Mm-hmm.
we always been overwhelmingly women on the planet. Even to this day, it's like 10-1.
Yeah.
Right. So when they start killing off the men, Then the women started mounting up. They started killing off the women. That was leaving a lot of children that was left without parents to teach them this stuff on the, into their daily life. Because we used to teach, like, for instance, the herbs. When you grow up in the South, you know what rabbit grass is.
All of
You
that.
know what crabgrass is. You know what the marijuana is. You know what the corn looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know when the watermelon sprout, what the sprout look like.
Mm-hmm.
In the North, we don't learn that stuff unless we grew up with a parent from the South,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because the information required to live in the North under these conditions is not the same. In the South, they still try to take care of themselves and feed their family from the fat of the land, living
Mm-hmm.
off the family farm. In the
Mm-hmm.
North, they try to live off the factory. So a lot of what we would teach on a regular basis became um, lost to the change in the culture, right? Then the change in the culture was deliberate on
Mm-hmm.
purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? The whole industrial revolution was a cover story. Post Gullah Wars, we all going home. They not telling us that part though, because they don't never want to acknowledge that we the original people of the land. So they don't want to tell us that after the Gullah Wars, we was going back home. So they say we was all migrating for the industrial revolution. That's the cover story. It's not true. It was a convenient cover story.
Yo, Rob, real quick. You know how the way we were taught, what we were taught about the Nazis, and when somebody think about the Nazis, they like these crazy motherfuckers who want to kill everybody and take over the world. In ancient times, did they look at the Anunnaki like how we look at the Nazis in modern times?
No, because the first ones that came wasn't belligerent. They
Okay,
had been here for a prolonged period of time before Enlil got here. He didn't
okay,
come with the original one. All right, he
okay,
came later.
okay.
And he would be. And if Enlil was born right now, we would call him a pretty boy,
Mm, mm,
right? This is why they tell you that Lucifer was the most beautiful of the angels before he fell. They talking about Enlil,
mm,
right? Because Enlil was extremely handsome,
mm,
almost borderlining on the feminine.
mm.
He looked like a. You ever seen Paramahansa Yogananda?
No,
Autobiography of a Yogi. When you
I
look at the cover, when you
yeah,
look at the cover of the book, you think it's a woman you looking at.
long hair dude, right? Indian.
Right.
Okay, long hair. Yeah, yep, yep. Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
that's the only difference between him and Enlil is Enlil had a mustache and a beard.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right. And he was I don't know, he was a brat, a spoiled kid that always won his way. His his brother, who we call Inky, he wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Inky enjoyed seeing everybody reach their fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
Enlil didn't like that because to him, if everybody reached their full potential, he won't be special.
Mm,
This is why he always talking about I'm the only guy, just me.
mm.
Two snaps in the circle, motherfucker. I'm the only guy, just me. Y'all not guys like me.
Yo, this nigga said two step. Oh God.
But
Oh,
he married Vatican.
he married Vatican.
Yeah, that's the only way that she could take the throne. She usurped the throne from his sister, who was married to Inky.
Right, right, right.
Right. So she could the only way he could pull rank on both of them is he had to have a wife, but he picked a wife from a mirror universe that's anatomically male,
Mm,
but she just as pretty in the face as he is. That's all vanity.
mm,
100% hedonistic vanity. That's all it is. And it caused more problems than it fixed because it didn't fix nothing. It just created a whole bunch of rainbow generation of elemental Q people.
mm, mm.
They
Man,
the
man.
ones came up with that trapped in the wrong body shit.
Oh, that's where that come from?
Yeah. Look,
Oh,
Vatica is anatomically male
Damn, man.
with two X chromosomes. In this dimension, she in the wrong body. You know what I'm saying? But in her dimension, she's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So instead of them sending her ass back home where she perfectly fine, they tried to convince all of us that we was the problem.
Right.
And that's what birthed what we call that community.
Mm. This thing go deep. This thing
Mhm.
go deep.
Which is different from the two spirit people.
Mm-hmm.
The two spirit people was hermaphroditic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they was always psychically gifted to the highest degree because they carried both the masculine and the feminine in a high degree,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then when Vatican them came, they became toys for them to play with. And they even ruined that community, right? The whole thing was to make sure the men never be men and the women never reach divine feminine status. That was the goal. That was it. That's the only way they could take power and keep it.
Mm-hmm.
But every 6,000 years, when the age is in 4 quarters, right? It's a 24,000 year cycle. Two
Mm-hmm.
lunar cycles, two solar cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Every 6,000 years, all paradigms have to be challenged.
Every 6,000 years. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. And the gender contract was the main thing they was trying to undo, which
Oh,
which ascribed the masculine responsibility to men and the feminine responsibilities for men. In order for men to be here, the women had to give them some guidelines that this is why you here. But like the average person, if you just walk up to a random person on the street and say, "Why was you born? Why are you here?" They don't know.
yeah.
Now, if you'd ask me that, I'll say, I got an idea, but I can't tell you.
Mm.
Because my mama always told me. And then she always told me, but you can't tell nobody. Because they'll hurt you if they find out what you're going to do. So now I know that even though I know why I'm here, and my mama sound like off a tick to me sometimes when she be talking about how smart I am, and I'd be like, "Mama, I'm not that smart," and she'd be like, "Smarter than you think." That used to piss me off because I used to be like, why does she think I'm so damn smart? Right? And then she be talking about some great and mighty work. I'm like, what the fuck is that shit?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, but whatever it was, my mama said I was born for it.
Yeah.
Then she was backed up by my big mama that baptized me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So look, you know how a kid go tell their daddy on their mama?
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. You know what I told on my mama?
Who?
My big mama.
Mm.
She the only person that I tell on my mama to.
Mm.
Because I know she, one thing I knew about, if nothing else, if my mama was wrong, she was going to correct her. And if I was wrong, she was going to correct me with the right amount of gentleness.
Mm.
And then she was going to explain it to me to the degree where I could understand my mama's position. So I don't have to have animosity to my mama. And they
Mm.
worked good together. They was like the dynamic duo. Because I didn't know at the time they was bouncing me back and forth, um, molding me, training me, teaching me stuff as a child that I wouldn't need for 45 years.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like, who does that?
Right. Right.
Right? So I didn't never know that what none of this stuff was, but the average person have no clue why they on earth. Most of them believe that my mom and dad had sex and I'm here. There's nobody on this planet that don't have a purpose, but some purpose is bigger than other purpose,
Right. Right. Right.
right? According to your skill set. You find yourself training yourself to fulfill your purpose, just living your life, just trying to live your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially like a loner like me. I don't really like being around a lot of people, but I don't have a problem when I'm around people. You know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
only thing is the worst thing that I could do and be around a lot of people is drink alcohol. Cause
Yeah.
I don't got no fuse no more. It go from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye.
You said that. You said that before. You said that before. Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I smoke the herb, but I don't drink the alcohol. 'Cause on the herb, when I be smoking the blunt, somebody do some dumb shit. I'm like, man, that just don't make no sense. But if it was alcohol,
Woo-wee!
we in gladiator school right now. We in the Coliseum, Roman Coliseum, and I'm finna fight this damn lion.
Shit, man. Rod, man, Rod, man. I want to thank you once again for coming on the show today. Um, I'm gonna call you probably Friday or something so we can set up this Patreon for the Carbon Code Collective, and we could get that going. But besides that, man, let the people know how they can contact you, Rod. Amazing show today, brother.
Well, my primary outlets is Facebook and Instagram. Rod Hayes on Facebook, Sick Ape on Instagram. Um, you catch me on Brother Rich. Shout out to Brother Rich. Catch me on Young Elder. Shout out to Young Elder. And occasionally I do Arisha Stone. Shout out to Arisha Stone. He be doing Matriarch Monday, so he been doing a lot with the sisters. And that's by divine order. Then I think that's pretty much my main. Anybody else, it will be just sporadic. But right now, I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to take no shows. Only just mainly the three people I just mentioned: Rich, Elder, and Arisha Stone. But my Facebook and Instagram is where I put out a lot of information. Sometimes I'll be going on the tirade on my Facebook page. I might get to if somebody be tick me off, I might go on a whole rant about why it's stupid or whatever. But mostly I put out information though, more than complaints. I don't do a lot of complaining because ain't no sense of wallowing in the problem if I can fix it.
No, indeed, definitely. Definitely. Well, definitely, man. I want to thank you once again, Rob, for explaining these earthquakes, the heat wave, and everything. Goes so much going on right now. So we need brothers like you. I'm glad your mother put that in your mind that you had this mission, because you're definitely anybody that's able to come on the internet, talk what you're talking, and have 5,000 people 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday watching them. There's something about you, my brother, that everybody wants to hear. So thanks to your mama for instilling that in you, my brother. Oh, I want to give a shout out, Rod. Rest in power to my aunt, Ferenci James. She passed away yesterday. She's in another realm. Free, I love you. May your soul have peace and blessings wherever you're at. But my aunt passed away. She lived a beautiful life. Her husband passed away a couple of years ago. So like me and Rod talked about, I know she went to meet up with him. But rest in power, rest in peace to Ferenci James. All right. But
Condolences, Rich.
indeed. No, she lived a beautiful life. She did a lot in her life. And I truly think she was ready to go. Last time I talked to her, I kind of sensed that, she was kind of ready to go. So, blessings to my aunt. South Carolina. We was talking about the Carolinas. Where she was at in South Carolina. I'm trying to think where, I forget. My family's from Branchville. But I don't know where she was living at. I think she might have been in Orangeburg or something. I'm not sure where. She might have been in Orange. No, Sumter. She's in Sumter. Yeah, she's from Sumter, South Carolina. So yeah, shout out to Sumter, South Carolina, man. Yeah, Rod, I appreciate it, my brother. I'm gonna talk to you soon.
All right, peace, brother Rich.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.